Hello everyone, this is Krishna. Thanks for joining SailPoint Identity IQ course. Let us begin the fundamentals of identity and access management before jumping into SailPoint. Okay, so what do you need to know before going into SailPoint is let's talk about what is authentication, what is authorization, single sign-on, then social login. Okay, and what is multi-factor authentication. In short, it is called MFA. Okay, so first let's talk about authentication. So the process of verifying credentials. What is meant by credential? Username, password. In your day-to-day activities, you do enter your username, password in accessing your mail, right, or any other e-commerce sites, right? Uh, that is called credential technically. And when you enter your username and password, so we should verify whether those are correct or not. So this process is called authentication. Once your username and password is validated successfully, then only you are allowed to access the application, right? So not just username and password, you can use um, biometric as well, right? So biometric in the sense your fingerprint, which you are using in your mobiles currently, right? Or face ID, face recognition, right? So this is the authentication stuff. So I think you are aware of it in your day-to-day activities. You are using it. Okay. Then what is multi-factor authentication? Multi-factor, as the name indicates, multi-factor. Many times you will be authenticated against the application. So the username and password can be hacked. It can be compromised. Maybe you have shared your username and password to somebody else, or somewhere you have written that is stolen. It's possible, right? That's why to improve the security of any application, they do use one more level of authentication, which is OTP, one-time password. Or I think in Gmail they have rolled it out. I think 2 years or 3 years back. So you once you enroll your mobile number in Gmail, or if you install Gmail in your mobile, it will send an authentication mechanism if you configure in your webmail. I mean webmail in the sense your Gmail in a computer, right? So whenever you access or when you configure for two-factor authentication, if you do, and of course they are asking you to do that, then it will be asking you what level of or what type of second factor authentication you would like to do that, right? One way is it can send an SMS, a text message to your mobile, or it can call you, and in the call they can say some one-time password which you need to enter. Or third way is they will send a push message. So in the mobile it will come to you as there is an activity logged in this location in this laptop or computer. Is it you? Do you like to approve it or not? Yes or no? So that is a push mechanism. So you can click push yes or no in that push mechanism. The push is used widely because the SMS alerts and our call alerts, it takes some cost involved, right? That's why we use push mechanism. So it's definitely it will also cost a bit, but it's less than SMS or text messages and calls. Okay, that is called multi-factor authentication. Currently in the world technology, we have two levels of authentication. First level, you enter username password. Second level, you enter one-time passwords. Okay, as we discussed. Uh, Third level, we are not there yet, but it will be crazy if we go for that or fourth level or fifth level, which is not a sophisticated way. First level is you enter the credentials what you know. Second level, uh, let's say username password, which is first level, it's a static. Your username won't change, your password won't change for a couple of days, right? Generally, the password won't expire for 90 days or 60 days or 120 days. An average 90 days is the password validity. So for 90 days, your password is static, right? So in case if your password is compromised, then you will be in risk. But OTP, it's never constant, right? Every time it will generate a dynamic OTP and it will send it to you. So MFA is a bit more secure, which adds extra layer of security. Okay. So third level, fourth level, you can think, what if OTP is also compromised? Do we have any another level? Um, it goes, it's almost like, annoying if you have more than two levels. Instead of going to another levels or layers, it's better to have a different authentication mechanism. There are companies which are working to remove this username password way of authentication, which is developed 20 years back. Okay, let's see what kind of authentication we get in the future. Maybe fingerprint, every time you can enter your fingerprint instead of username password. But there are some advantages, disadvantages, and some challenges we will come to know in the future. Currently, the technology is developing very fast. So let us see what kind of new innovations we will see in the coming days. Okay, coming to the authorization. In the authorization, this is followed by authentication. Without authentication, there is no authorization. So authorization refers to process of verifying whether a user has access or not. Okay, so process of validating whether a user has access or not in a particular application, right? So once you, let's say you went to a theater for watching a movie, you purchased a movie ticket, right? You entered inside the theater. You are not allowed to everywhere, right? In the theater, you are just allowed to the watching movie. So you go and sit there, whichever the seat number given to you. You cannot enter other rooms, which is given to the staff of theater. So that is what the differentiation. So we need to verify what kind of access you have, or you do not have access at all. Example, let's say you go to uh, a shopping mall which has a theater, cinema theater. Not everyone who enter into a shopping mall is allowed to enter a movie theater, right? You need to purchase a movie ticket. Once you purchase a movie ticket, you are not allowed to enter every room or every infrastructure associated with the theater. Only the staff can access. So every individual has different kinds of access. Okay, that access we need to validate. That is called authorization. So it says whether you have access or not. If yes, what level of access? Okay, in real time, let's say you are working in some organization, you like to have a leave for your personal or emergency or whatever it may be. So you request for leave. It will go to your manager. So manager can approve or reject. You can see that request is raised by you, but you cannot approve that request, right? Only manager can do that. If you rise and you only approve yourself, then there is no man. It doesn't make sense, right? So you have read access. You can read the request, what you have raised, the leave request. But your manager, he can modify. or he can execute that request. He can approve or reject, which is a decision taken by him, right? So you have read level of access. Your manager has a read access he has, and execute access also he has. Same wise, you cannot see your manager data, but your manager can see your data, right? How that is possible? Because of access your manager has. Okay, this is what authorization is. Authorization is very important in the world, which is what we are working a lot for. Authorization compared to authentication, authorization is very big. Authentication, we just verify whether user belongs to a particular company or not, but authorization, it's a lot of validations, whether you have the access to this application or not, this building or not, this floor or not, right, this asset or not. A lot of validations and lot of infrastructure associated to the company. Okay, let's say Amazon Prime or Netflix or Hotstar. You purchased a mobile version of Netflix. If you access the same Netflix in laptop, will it allow? No, it won't. You can log in, it will open, but you cannot play any movie or any TV series, whatever it is there in the Netflix. It says you are a mobile user. If you want to, if you want to use Netflix in laptop, please upgrade your plan. That is the access, right? You have access to Netflix in mobile version or mobile application only, not in desktop applications. That is the difference of access, differentiating your access in Netflix application. If this is not possible, then Netflix will lose a lot of money. Who will purchase then desktop application? Everyone will purchase mobile version. They can use in desktop as well, right? Same goes with Amazon Prime as well or Hotstar. Different type of plans you have. Mobile version, desktop versions, or basic versions, VIP versions, and one more is their premium version, right? So a lot of differentiations. Or you take mobile recharge packs. Based on your mobile recharge pack, it will give you how much data in GBs or MB, how many days of validity. If you purchase for 1 month plan or 3 months plan or 1 year plan, everything is differentiated using the authorization. Okay, authorization plays very big role in today's world, technical world. Okay, so now coming to single sign. So in day-to-day activities, we do access almost 100 applications. Not every day maybe, but we do have access to 100 of applications. Definitely will have. You may not count it, but yeah, you can do that. Your personal and your professional applications, your family. You have to take care of your family applications, right? Not everybody is used to use the technology a lot. And maybe your friends. uh, Maybe somebody is not able to understand the digital world, then you will be helping them and you will be remembering their passwords as well. As as the number of years of experience increases, your brain will be losing memory. It's difficult to remember a lot because it happens. I don't know, even same thing happening to me. And multitasking also, it will be difficult. Now currently I'm unable to do multitasking. Anyway, the point is it's difficult to remember a lot of passwords, and every application has a different password standards. What is that password standard? Let's say one application says you should not use special characters, especially I do see with bank. They will allow me to use only 4 5 special characters, not all. Okay, and as a technical geek or a professional, I would like to use some special characters which are more secure, but those are not allowed by banks. They will say only these are allowed. Every application has their different standards. Some application says only capital letters, one at least one capital letter. Some application may say no capital letters. I mean, it's possible. Every application it's custom, so it's their own standard. So now it's difficult to definitely, yeah, you may think that maybe I'll use same password for every application. Yeah, of course, many people are doing that, but if your standards are different, it's difficult to have same password for every application you use. All right. So in my experience, couple of years back when I was a fresher, 7 years or 8 years back, when I was working, I somehow forgot my password enter incorrectly for 3 times. If you enter your password 3 times incorrectly, some places it will be 5 times, some systems or some companies. But for me, it was 3 times. If I enter password incorrectly 3 times, it will lock my account. In order to unlock my account, since I don't know the password, if I know the password, it could have worked, right, in 3 times. And now I don't know what is my password. So my account needs to be unlocked and my password needs to be reset. So I can log in again with the new password. So 7 years back, there was no self-service. What is meant by self-service? I'll explain. So what I had to do was I needed to call help desk. I was working for a US client. I was working in Indian timings, morning 9 o'clock. But US help desk will come at their morning time, which is our evening. So I need to call them. I need to give some answers for the security questions. Then they will confirm that it's me only, and then they will unlock the account and they will reset the password. But I had to wait full day. Since I couldn't log into the client environment, I didn't do any work. Loss of business, loss of productivity. And that doesn't mean that you sit idle, okay? You have to complete the work. Doesn't matter about your access. It's not school or college, right? They say that I didn't come uh, college yesterday, so I won't take exam today. It won't work like that. You have to finish the work on time. Doesn't matter. Okay. So that was the difficulty I faced because of these password issues. Second, the disadvantage here is I wasted my time whole day. Second, it disturbed our business. Third, uh, we need infrastructure and employees to accommodate your password issues. Since you forgot your password, in order to help you there, the client needed to have some employees in help desk, some infrastructure like computer, network, everything is required, which costs some amount, right? That is why everything is converted to self-service. What is self-service? You don't need to ask somebody to reset your password. You can reset your own password. Current world, everywhere it is there. Not 100%, but 95% at least, I believe. So you don't need to ask anyone to reset your password. You can simply, you know, ask them to change your password. Ask your, I mean, in the application, you can click reset password. You can do that. It will send a link to your email and you can do that. But this is also cost involved. Why? Because some developers needs to build this application. Maintenance is required, support is required, bugs will be there. They have to improve the application. Okay, so a lot of issues in terms of, see, even you cannot burden the employee by making him or her to remember a lot of passwords, right? That is why there is a concept called single sign-on. As the name indicates, login once, access many times. So it was working like, currently we are using laptop work from home, but some years back we used to go to office and desktop we were using. So there we will go to office and we will enter control all this, control all delete. Then it will ask us to enter username and password. We'll enter and it is validated, verified. Then once we are into the system, we'll open Google Chrome or Internet Explorer browser and we access a lot of applications. It won't ask for password again or login again because you already did log into the computer, right? So it won't ask you to log in anymore for that complete session. Okay, this is called single sign-on, and there are a lot of products outside the market which are used for that purpose. Okay, this is also very important aspect in today's digital security world. Okay, then coming to social login. Social login is something you don't need to create accounts, or let me say you don't need to register yourself in every application. What is the problem? Let's say um, you have, let's say the world population is 7 billion now, many years back now, maybe it may be around 8 billion maximum. Okay, so let's say every day there is 1 billion active internet user. Let's consider that. Okay, so 1 billion active internet users. So let's say every day we use at least 10 applications, I believe, or maybe if you take your mobile, 50 plus apps will be there. You will be using a lot of applications, right? And every application has a database, right? Their own database. So like this, every application has databases to store the data. Data in the sense your details only. Okay. So now here, database, DB means database, DB for app 1. Okay, DB for app 2, like that, lot of applications. Okay, so now in order to access, you need to have account in that application, right? Otherwise, how do you access? So you will create account in this application. So your account details are stored in this database. And same goes to app 2 as well, right? And same goes to app 3 as well. Like that, many applications, hundreds of applications. Now this DB of application 1 needs to have 1 billion 1 billion data, right? Even here, 1 billion user data. Now you may think that not everyone will register for app 1, app 2, app 3, right? But I'm saying in average, at least 3 4 billion active users are there. Everyone in the world almost has a mobile phone now. If you take India, 1.3 billion people, at least half a billion has a smartphone, right? And you take other countries, a lot. China, US, and in Europe, very well developed countries, right? So there will be a lot of data has to be stored in every application. And you also, it's a burden for us to create application account in everywhere. Takes time. Example, if you take Google, when you create a Gmail ID for you, Google account is nothing but Gmail. And you don't create account in YouTube, right? You don't create account in um, Google applications like Google Maps, Google Drive, Google Photos. A lot of applications are there in Google. Hundreds of applications are there. Maybe we are not aware of it, but lot of applications are there. You didn't create account there, right? You didn't create account for Google Maps or Google Drive. No, you just created your Gmail. which is used in every Google applications. So it is saving you a lot of time. Even Google also saving a lot of their time and their infrastructure. Infrastructure in the sense they don't need to create extra databases. They can have single database which contains your data. That data is used in every Google application. So it is saving user time in creating accounts. You don't need to create, you don't need to invest your time there. Second, you don't need to remember your account details or passwords there. For Google, they also can save the time. They don't need to develop interfaces for you to register account there. And they don't need to have more servers of databases. And since the less servers, less employees, less cost. Okay, so that is an example of social login. So what will you do is instead of creating an account in every application, you do login with the Gmail. Okay, so now you don't need to create account in application one. Instead, it will say login with Gmail. It will come to Gmail. And whatever the details you enter, Gmail will validate. And if it is correct, then it will send that tokens to application one that user is validated. You can give the access. This is called social login. In your day-to-day activities, whenever you access the mobile applications, it says create account, or in the down it will say login with your Gmail account, or some other options will be there, which is called social login. Okay, so these are the basics you should need before going into SailPoint Identity IQ course. So we will continue other topics in the coming course. Thanks for joining.